next NHL expansion team, that's going to be the Kraken here, guys. They're going to see their lineup kind of start to take shape July 21st. That's the expansion draft. Obviously, no information yet as the draft has yet to happen. I think teams still have another week here to release their protected list. But could Seattle be set up for a great first season like Vegas? Or do you think other teams have kind of figured out the formula after last expansion draft? Paul, you're shaking your head yes.
I think the Kraken will definitely be a competitive club in year one, guys. They won't start with a loaded roster like Vegas per se, but I do expect they'll come up with a lineup that should be better than all the Western clubs, except for maybe Edmonton and Vegas in that division. I still count the three California clubs as non-contenders looking ahead. So that means they have to beat one out of Calgary or Vancouver. I see them certainly doing that and possibly finishing ahead of both and qualifying for that playoff spot in year one.
Jeff, can you see Seattle being competitive in year one?
For all the reasons Paul just said, yes. I mean, they're in the dynamite division to start your franchise in. The specific division is not good. Hashtag not good. Yeah, they're going to have to face Connor McDavid, and they're going to have to face, the Vegas Golden Knights, but they legitimately could be like the fourth best team in this division starting off. So it's going to be really interesting. I like it. I think that there's going to be some bigger names. Like we already mentioned, Tampa might be throwing someone out there like a Poulat. So I do think they're going to put together a pretty interesting roster as well. I think they have a legit shot to sneak into as like a bottom seed in the playoffs as well. So going to be very interesting. The West is going to be wide open again.
Damn, AJ, can you give me a reason they're not going to be good at all?
Well, it's because they're not going to get the same deals and capital that Vegas was able to squeeze out of everybody else. Everybody's wisened up to that. They're just going to let their guys go and let it be the end of the day. Look, we all knew that Vegas was going to take Marc-Andre Fleury. Everybody and their grandmother knew that they were going to take him. And yet Pittsburgh still gave a 2020 second round pick to them to just make sure. We're not going to see those deals. They're not going to have all this extra capital. We might see one or two, but it's just not to the same level. They're not going to be able to then take those picks and those guys and shuffle them around in the same way that Seattle did to load up their roster even more. I just don't see them getting that sort of leverage. These guys are right. The Pacific is bad, but the Golden Knights also had that unfortunate event in Vegas that kind of gelled them together right at the start of the year and really help them kind of rally around. Hopefully we don't see something similar like that in Seattle. So I just don't see them making the playoffs this year. I think you're going to see a kind of disconnected team that doesn't have that same leadership, that same rallying point, and that is not going to be as stacked.